Hello and welcome to this Making a Tyranid Army list with me, Xenovids. Now in this video we're going to take a look at the codex and have a look at the different builds that can be made and discuss whether or not we think they'd actually be competitive or not. What do I mean by competitive and local meta? Well, there's a few ways you can make your army list. You can just look through this codex going, this unit is good, this unit is good, or you can go, this unit is bad, I will never take this, it'll never take this, it'll never work, there's no synergy, nothing's going to happen. You've got to think about your local meta, and your local meta is the group of people you play with. So if you are a tournament player, you're generally going to be playing a lot of Eldar and Tau as Space Marine armies. If you're just a standard, what is known as pretzel and beer kind of player, like I am, I go around to a friend's house, we play a few games, and we just have some fun. We make our own little league, but we kind of know what each of us is going to take. Now the armies that I predominantly play against are Nurgle Chaos Space Marines, a Tau force, an Eldar force, a Space Marine force, maybe a Grey Knights, and that's it. That's it at the moment. Now, with the Tau force, my buddy's got about between 6,000 to 8,000 points of Tau, so he can do varied lists. So I have to try and prepare for his competitive list for our league. Soon he's getting some Necrons, so that's going to add a different way of me building lists. So let's take a look at my meta. So Tau, the way he plays Tau, he doesn't really play Pathfinders, so he doesn't have a lot of things that ignore cover, but he's a lot of things like the battle suits that ignore knife fighting. So I have to deal with 2 Riptides and a lot of Crisis suits and Farsight and lots of Fire Warriors. With his Nurgle Marines he has a lot of tanks. So he has the minimum amount of Nurgle Marines with Typhus, a few Rhinos and a couple of Land Raiders and a Defiler. With the Grey Knights it's a lot of Paladins. And I've just got to start thinking, what list would be generally okay, or what list would beat the top 2 or 3, or give them a hard time. And that's how I've got to design my list. I don't go to tournaments, I just play with my friends. So in that regard, this codex may be fun to play, it may not. I don't know if I'd ever take it to a tournament, if I ever did a tournament, because I'd want to win a tournament, and I know out there that Eldar and Tau are right now amazing, and they are. If I was going to a tournament, I would take 2 Wraith Knights, maybe 3 Wraith Knights. Dark Reapers are great. Wave Serpent spam is brilliant. But I play with my friends. We go over to our house and just play. So in that one I made a few fun lists that can maybe whet your appetite, and I challenge you out there to, if you have the models, take this list and then comment below about what you think, well, how it went. Do they do well? Didn't it do well? Or what you think could make it better? Or what you think you'd change? So let's take a look at the first list. This first list is a slight adjustment to the way I used to play 5th edition. Now this is really dangerous because a lot of people are saying now that Tyranids have changed. Ignore what you knew, and you have to playtest them. You have to find out how they play now. Whether that's a lot of little units of Synapse supporting lots of Gaunts and monstrous creatures, or whether that's outflanking Gene Stealers with Flying Hive Tyrants and Harpies and Biovores, you have to playtest again, which is exciting for Tyranid players, but on the other hand, I had a lot of models centered away around a playstyle, and I don't really have the finances to go out and buy loads of swarms, to buy loads of new monstrous creatures. So I've written a few lists that I can afford, and this one is the slight adjustment list to how I used to play. So in this list I have a Swarm Lord at 285 points. Now yes, he is very expensive, but I used to run Flying Hive Tyrants, which were around the same price. So Swarm Lord gets your 18-inch bubble of Synapse. He is my main Synapse creature, so what do I need to do? I need to put 2 Tyrant Guard with him, so he's got some extra wounds and some blocking. Adding a few layers to this cake. He is the base of this cake. Adding the Tyrant Guard for a bit of cream. I've also got a Winged Hive Tyrant with 1 set of Twin Link Devourers with Brain Leech Worms. So that is 6 shots, Twin Linked. I'm rolling 3s to hit now, not 4s, because Tyrant's ballistic skill has changed. Strength 6 shots. So I can hit a flyer, I can do a little bit of damage, but he is my mobile Synapse, and Winged Hive Tyrants are great, and my opponent knows Winged Hive Tyrants are great, so he's 230 points for him. Mobile Synapse. If he gets shot at, he gets shot at. Swarm Lord is still there running up the board. In my troop section, I have a Tervagon. They got nerfed a bit, but he's a Synapse creature that births. So for 195 points, I've got my Tervagon at the back of the field. He is going to be near objectives. There's a lot of objective-based games in Warhammer 40k. Whether they are the Scouring, or the Relic, whatever the objective is, or where the best objectives are, I will keep my Tervagon there. The monstrous creature of Synapse. And then what I'll do, I will birth Termagons and have them run up the field, or to an objective to the left or the right, depending on how the game is set up. So to make the Tervagon a troop, I need Termagons. So I've got 30 Termagons, troop's choice, for 120. I then got 30 Hormagons, 150. They have no upgrades. They are just there to mess with the psyche of my opponent. 60 Gaunts coming at you. He can shoot as much as he wants of them, I don't care. They're 120 and 150 points. Shoot, shoot, shoot as much as you want at them, and if they do make it to them, and they're able to shoot and do some dangerous things, that's brilliant. And then they can tie people up. They're never going to kill a vehicle. Never. But they can tie troops up, they can take troops down, they can divert fire from your Synapse. So in the elite section, I've got a Venom Throat. Venom Throats are great. 45 points, gives Shrouded. Anyone within 6 inches, that unit has Shrouded. So have them knit just in front of the Tyrant Guard. I think I'm having the Gaunts at the front, the Venom Throat behind them, Tyrant Guard and your Swarm Lord. Tyrant Guard are going to be more than 25% of your model. They're going to give him... oh, they're the same unit. But the Venom Throat, and then something in front of the Venom Throat, which I'll go on to with the heavy support, will give him a cover save. Last Cannon shots, or Railguns, or Bright Lances shot at the Swarm Lord. Oh, okay, well you have to get through my Tyrant Guard, who always hit the lookout, sir. Oh, and I've got a major cover save due to the Venom Throat, because he's Shrouded. So if something was in front of it, giving it a 5 up, Shrouded I think is +2, so that's 4, 3. That's a 3 up cover save. More layers to the cake. Disruption. Elite Horror Specs. I really don't know what I think about this. 160 points for a monstrous creature with a big appetite. 5 wounds. But he is going to be there. You can't ignore that model. He has a giant mouth. And I'm just hoping that he just draws shots. Or if it gets ignored, he's just going to be running and running and running. He's got a 12-inch shooting attack. It's one shot. I'm not probably going to use it. I'm just going to focus on running him on the field. Just to tie up an infantry. Or if I know he's going to be deep striking a unit where my Turvigon is, he's going to stay back and get them. Because I have a lot of Tau players. Our armies, Farsight, Crisis Suits, he's going to be there to mop up at the end. He's the mop-up crew. I'm not using any fast attack. No Harpy, I'm afraid. Heavy support. Free card effects, bare naked. Now, a lot of people put the guns on them. Just from a point of view, I think they look better with Siphoning Talons and Crushing Claws, so I modelled them how I like them. 360 points for free card effects is they're just going to aim for his main tanks, and they're just going to destroy them. That's what they're there for. "12 wounds, toughness 6. They're going to be in front of the Venom Throat, just behind the Gaunts. So the Venom Throat will give them a cover save. They're going to be rushing forward, and anything behind the card effects, which is the Swarm Lord, he's going to get major cover saves, because the Swarm Lord is going to be running up as well. I don't need shooting if I'm running at them. This is a very close combat army, just to go against what 6th edition is. I've then got a Trygon Prime at 230 points. I've always used the Trygon Prime. Brilliant. And with the Swarm Lord's ability to make you +1 to your reserves, he's probably going to be in turn 2. So while I'm running up the field, and I'm in midfield, my opponent's thinking, right, next turn, turn 2, I'm going to shoot him. I'm going to kill that Swarm Lord, or that Hive Tyrant. Boop! Here's my Trygon. He doesn't scatter. He has 12 shots at 18-inch range. Yeah, the Bioelectric Pulse with Containment Spines, 18-inch range, Strength 5, 85 Assault 12. That's going to hurt his units. If he's Tower Warriors, they're probably going to hurt a lot. Or even Tactical Marines, that kill a few of them. He's got to deal with the Trygon Prime, who is also a Synapse creature. Then also I've got a Morlock for 140 points. So, 140 points. That means, again, Swarm Lord, turn 2, probably have my Trygon there, and my Morlock there. I'll probably do my Morlock coming on first, because you place him, but you have to place the Large Blast, and you roll, kill a few. If you can't place him again, you roll, kill a few, he'll pop up, and then Trygon Prime will pop up near him. You've got 2 toughness 6, 6 wound monstrous creatures, which are going to take you down right in your deployment zone. So then they have to fire at them. If they don't kill them, they're going to have to deal with them. If they do kill them, everything else will be there. So that is exactly 2,000 points, because we play a 2,000 point army. I tallied it up, models on the field. I've got 9 monstrous creatures, 60 Gaunts at the start. Obviously the Turvigon, on average, I think, will spurt out around 20 Gaunts-ish. If you know the math, pop it in the comment section below. And other models, like Tyrant Guard and Venom Throat, is free. So that's 72 models on the field straight away. 9 monstrous creatures. This is good, similar tactics how I played in 5th. If this doesn't work, I'm going to have to buy a lot more models. But it's more monstrous creatures than I had in the last edition. And funnily enough, I never used to roll Iron Arm on Biomancy, so I never used to be lucky with that. I think I rolled it twice in 8 games, 9 games, if that, on 1, maybe 2 models. So I'm not too fussed about the biomancy really. I was never lucky with my rolls. So that is list number 1, my slight adjustment list. The next list is the Nidzilla list. Now what do I mean by Nidzilla? Nidzilla is an army of Tyranids that has as many monstrous creatures on the board as you possibly can field. And in this codex, you can have monstrous creatures in every single section of the book. So I've done a 2,000 point list, and I do have 5 heavy sports because I think heavy sports are brilliant in this codex. And because I've got 2,000 points, I can do dual force organisation. Starting with the Hive Tyrant, he has the Stranglethorn Cannon. So it's a strength 6, AP4 large blast pinning, if I remember, 36-inch range. Strength 6, AP5 in fact. So he's there to shoot at troops in front of you or sniper units just to do pinning and a bit of damage, but he's going to be quite vulnerable, so I've given him 2 Tyrant Guard. Hive Tyrant with wings and a Death Spitter. Now, not the best loadout for him, but I've got to keep him relatively cheap to make room for others. He's going to be a flying Hive Tyrant. He can always Vector Strike, he can get Psychic Powers, he can shoot a little bit. That's what he's there for. I'm just trying to get as many monsters on the field as possible. In the Elite section, 2 Horror Spexes. The Troop section, 30 Termagants and a Tervagon. I had to take the Tervagon so I could make Tervagon a Troops. I wanted 2 Hive Tyrants in the HQ. So Tervagon is there. The Fast Attack section is Harpy times 2. So you have 3 flying monstrous creatures with the winged Hive Tyrant as well on the field. You have Harpies, which can do some Spore Mine damage, shooting with pinnings, shooting with pinning, which is quite good. You've got, in the heavy support section though, the big hitters. Exocrine, AP2 shots, and a blast as well if you wanted. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Where is the Exocrine? Page 50. What is his weapon? Bioplasmic. Yeah, you've got 2 profiles, Strength 7 AP2, Large Blast, or Strength 7 AP2, Assault 6. It's great. Strength 7 AP2 shots is always great. You've got the Tyrannifex with Flesh Hive for only 180 points now. Now, Flesh Hive is the Flesh Borer Hive. Strength 4 AP5, 20 shots. So again, he is just shooting at any troops, and it's going to do a lot of damage. And he has an arm save too. Morlock, 140 points, which is good. Coming up, boom, killing people in your opponent's deployment zone. All those hard to reach units in the corner. And I had 120 points left, so I just got 1 Carnifex. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Got 11 monstrous creatures in this unit, this Nidzilla army. Good. Monsters are great. And that is the one way to make a Nidzilla army. So next on the list is another 2,000 point list, which is the Swarm list. Now, Games Workshop have just released a new Tyranid box set where you could buy a lot of gaunts. So let's see how many gaunts we can fit on the table. So we have 1 Hive Tyrant, Strangleform Cannon, 2 Tyrant Guard, need something which is strong and can survive with Synapse if you're using a Swarm list. Then we have a Turbogon in the HQ section. Then we have 2 units of 30 Termagants and a Turbogon in the troop section. Also in the troop section we have 30 Hormagons. Another choice from the troop section is 9 Ripper Swarms with Deep Strike. And then we have 20 Gene Stealers with a Broodlord. 2 Venom Throats from the Elite section. And 2 troops of Gargoyles, 130 and 110. And then a Morlock. Now, a Morlock is a monstrous creature, he's not a swarm, but he can just deep strike, and I like that. So the way that this army would play, you'd have your Hive Tyrant walking up, you could have a Turbogon back on an objective, and the other Turbogon walking up. You have all your Termagants running as fast as you can, so you have the Turbogon behind, so they're out of the 12-inch of your front Termagants, so if it does die, they don't explode. You have your Rippers and G-Stealers deep striking and outflanking, because in the Synapse run, they don't do instinctive behaviour the first turn they come on from reserves. So you have them coming in from the sides and deep striking. Surprise! And then you have your Gargoyles screening everything at the front, and Venom Throats giving lots of cover saves to your masses. Now the model count for this army is 168. 168 models on the board, and you have 2 Turbogons, so that could be another 40 odd. That's over 200 models you can have. And you just swarm. Leave one of the Turbogons with an objective if there is objectives. If not, just eat. Num num num. And that is a 2,000 point Swarm list army. Now this list is also a 2,000 point list, and I have labelled it Surprise! What it is a Swarm Lord 285 with 2 Tyrant Guard. Now the reason you've got him is because he's +1 to your reserve, which is the big surprise. Second HQ is the Death Leaper. He comes in from Deep Strike, he never scatters, he minuses to your opponent's Warlord. Now if his Warlord is a Psyker, minusing to his leadership. If his Psyker gets in range of Synapse, that's another -3 to their leadership. It's a very scared Warlord. The Death Leaper is a killer assassin, and he gets stealth, so you could deep strike him if you're behind something or next to something, and then run him, and then he's in there. He's also got the special rule that when you fire at the Death Leaper, it has to be snapshots. So you have snapshots at him, and he has an awesome cover save, and he's pretty good in combat. Then we have a unit of 3 warriors, 90 points, kitted out with just their standard Sarving Talons and Devourers. What are they designed to do? Well, there's a lot of objective games in there. You can either have that unit of warriors coming up with you on the board as a back Synapse creature, or you can have them sat somewhere else on an objective. So you've got an objective and you're not worried about it. Then you have a Turbogon, which again, surprise, I spawn gaunts on an objective or coming up the board. Termagants, unit of 30. Hormagaunts, unit of 30. Standard, you've got your 60 gaunts coming up. Your opponent has to think about it. Deep Striking Rippers. Oh, good. So they can come in turn 2, generally, with the Swarm Lord's ability of plussing 1 to your reserve rolls. You're hitting on a 2-up, really. Because if you do roll a 2, +1 means that then you need a 3-up. You +1. It works. Anything that doesn't deep strike in when you want it in this army comes in after the Death Leaper. They can always come in near it because it's like a homing beacon. But yeah, so now you have boom, 9 Rippers deep striking near you as well, and a Venom Thrope. That's going to be with the Swarm Lord and the Gaunts coming up. Then you have 3 Carnifexes. Naked, walking up the board, again with your solid unit. Then you have a Trigon Prime. Deep Strike, oh, it never scatters. Synapse creature. Boom, Shadow in the Warp. Your opponent's Warlord has, on average now, a leadership of 4. If he's a Space Marine. If you had a leadership of 10, he's now leadership 4. Try and get your psychic powers off now. And then a Morlock. Again, if he doesn't come in the same turn as Death Leaper, comes in after, he doesn't scatter. Death Leaper runs up. Oh, he's next to this unit. Boom, boom, dead. That's only 1,980. You can then play around with some upgrades or have some Spore Mines deep striking and again causing some damage. This is similar to my slight adjustment list. With the main bulk moving up, and then you have a couple of other things doing that. It's a surprise list because you have your Death Leaper Assassin that messes with your Warlord and your opponent's Psyche. You have your Termagon. There's going to be more Termagants on the field. Gaunts. That's a lot of Gaunts on the field. Rippers. Deep striking swarm near you. They're not great, but they're right in your face. Venom Thrope, he's giving you some cover. 3 Carnifexes is always scary. Trigon Prime, Synapse creature of Monster of Doom. Morlock, he is now eating a lot of my units. Now, this plays on your opponent's psyche. He's got a lot of units to shoot at. He knows Synapse creatures should be killed, so you've got your Swarm Lord there, but now you have your Death Leaper, you've got your Morlocks and your Trigons. He won't know what to shoot at, he won't prioritise correctly. This unit is quite sneaky. And the more I talk about it, the more I like it. Actually. It's not bad. When I get the models, I'll try and play this army out as well. So that is the surprise list. So the closing thoughts for making the Tyranids lists. They don't play. I don't think they'll play like they did in 5th. Termagant spam with Iron Arm, hoping to get it off, is probably gone. Well, we don't have Biomancy, so it is gone. I'm written 1, 2, 3, 4 very different lists that I never would have thought of to write in the old codex. So this codex is already making me think. And I'm having to look at it as if it's brand new. As if Warhammer 40k has never had Tyranids before. And now they've arrived, and I love the models, so I want to make it work. Now, I would probably want to try all of these lists. Nidzilla just sounds fun. The surprise one is fun, and the slight adjustment would be my favourites. Just for the fact that I know my Swarm list wouldn't do well against Tau, probably. But if he doesn't shoot it, I'm going to devour his Fire Warriors and such and such. So yeah, thank you for watching. Please comment below about the lists, about what you think about them. You could do some math hammer. Or if you've got the Tyranid models, go out and play. Go out and try these lists, try your own lists. Tell me what's worked well and against what. Because we don't have the pocket knife, kind of Swiss Army knife army like the Tau do with their crisis suits. For example, if you have a fast sight enclave, you can have one unit of crisis suits to kill a tank. Deep strike that in, oh, kill another tank. Oh, troops and troops. We don't have that. We have to work on synergy and find the units which work well. And as a community, try and find those little nuggets of golden Tyranidy goodness. So please comment below about what you think works well, even though it's only been the first week of the Tyranid Codex. And please subscribe, share, like this video, it means a lot. Get it out there so people can try lists and we can spread the word about what's good about the Tyranids. Thank you for watching. I've been Xenovids, and I will see you on the next video.